In this problem, I'm going to find the missing endpoint. The problem says that the midpoint of line segment AB is the point M, which is -3, 2. If the coordinates of A are -7, 1, then what are the coordinates of B? The first thing I want to do is set the values of the given points equal to something that I can use for the midpoint formula. So I know that M, my midpoint, is -3, 2. So I'm going to set those values equal to x and y so that later I can use the midpoint formula. I'm going to let point A, which has the values -7, 1, I'm going to let that be equal to my x1 and my y1. And B, which is the point that I'm looking for, I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to let it be x2, y2. And now I can use the midpoint formula to find the coordinates of B. So I'm going to take my x value from the midpoint and set it equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and solve for x2. So if I plug in the values that I know that -3 is equal to -7 plus x2 divided by 2. Now to solve for x2, all I need to do is multiply both sides by 2 because I'm dividing by 2 on the right and I want to undo that. 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so those things cancel each other out. And on the right, I'm left with -7 plus x2. On the left, I have 2 times -3, which is just -6. Now to get x2 by itself, I would want to add 7 on both sides because -7 plus 7 is 0. So that's gone. -6 plus 7 would give me a +1. And now I know that +1 is my value of x2. Now I'm going to repeat the same method so that I can find my value of y2. The midpoint formula tells me that my y-coordinate of the midpoint is equal to y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Now I'm going to plug in the values that I know. I know that my y value of the midpoint is 2, and I know that my y1 value is +1. So I have 2 is equal to +1 plus y2 divided by 2. To solve for y2, I need to multiply both sides by +2 so that I can undo this division that's happening on the right. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 1 times this in the parentheses is just that. It's just itself. So we just have 1 plus y2 on the right, and on the left, 2 times 2 is 4. Now to get y2 by itself, all I need to do is subtract 1 on both sides because 1 minus 1 is 0. 4 minus 1 is 3, and that leaves me with 3 is equal to y2. So now I know that my point B, which has coordinates x2 and y2, is equal to the point 1, 3. And that is my endpoint.